This is the best way to get qualified leads in 2024 as a contractor. This is the exact model we used to grow our concrete company from $0 to $2 million a year in the past 3 years. We tried everything from Angie's Leads, Home Advisor, networks, you name it, general contractors, home builders, even trying to rely on word of mouth, which, as we all know, is just inconsistent. MMT Concrete, we didn't have tons of exposure or a big brand to begin with. We had to start it from scratch. We needed something predictable. We needed a surefire way, day in, day out, we knew we were getting leads. Because as we were bringing people onto the business, it was tough when they would ask, hey, when's the next job? If we didn't even know when the next job was. So we had to change our model. Biggest thing we started doing now was social media marketing. Because we realized a lot of contractors know how to do the work, but they don't know how to get the work. So if I can find a way, I don't have to fight for the same lead as 5 other guys, and I can really niche down and target the customers who are serious and have the money, and they don't want the cheapest guy. They want the quality job. They want the job done right. If I could figure out that way, that's how we knew we were going to scale. The first part of it is the consistency of the leads. What I didn't like about Home Advisor, Angie Leads, or a lot of these marketing companies and agencies is you're always relying on them to get you leads. So you have to pay them a cut. Even if it's general contractors or home builders, you can never really charge the price you want because they have to take their margin out of it, which sucks because you're doing all the work and they're making just as much profit as you, but they're not doing anything. So I didn't really want to work with that model. Word of mouth wasn't great because to have word of mouth where you can scale to 100,000, 200,000 a month, it's going to take 10, 20 years. Even then, there's guys still 10, 20 years in business. They're still not hitting 100,000, 200,000 a month because word of mouth is very inconsistent. Some weeks you're getting 10 phone calls, some weeks nothing. It's going to be very tough to grow a business if you're just guessing all the time. And then what I didn't like about the ads agencies or like paying a marketing company is as soon as you stop paying them, they stop feeding you leads. And I didn't want to pay a subscription, or I didn't want to pay for every job or pay for every lead. I knew there had to be a better way. And then a lot of times, a lot of these companies, since they're not actual contractors, they don't really know the difference between a good lead or a bad lead. Like, they think all leads are equal. It's not. There's Karens, and then there's customers who are, you just drop the price, they're like, sweet, I like you, let's roll. Those are the ideal clients I wanted, so I had to figure out another way. And on social media, you can actually target the leads that way. So every time, like it happens to you all the time, every time you talk about trucks and then all of a sudden ads of trucks start popping up, you're like, what's going on? Are they listening? How did they? Pretty similar to how my stuff started popping up on your page. You were talking about leads, you were talking about your business, boom, my page started popping up, and now like look where you are. It's that same kind of method because everyone's going to check their phone multiple times throughout the day, their Instagram. So imagine if you're popping up every time. We don't like pushing a website heavily because if people see your website, they'll just look at your website once, then they'll never go back again. Versus their Instagram, if they go on Instagram 5 times a day, you're popping up 5 times a day, it's a lot higher likelihood that they're going to go hire you for the job. And so that's why I always push more of the social media. And you can actually target it in a certain way. So it just shows to specific age ranges, or it shows to specific interests. So like typically you have to be 35, 40 years old to even see our stuff, because those are the types of customers I want. And then also, how soon are they looking at getting the job done? We more gear it towards people who are ready to buy versus just shopping around, because you can actually do that and weed people out, vet them through social media that way. A lot of guys just don't do it properly, and common mistake, like boosting posts. Definitely don't do boosted posts. Guys, if you're gonna do not do boosted posts on Facebook or Instagram. That is not the best way to get leads. You're gonna get a lot of tire kickers or waste money that way. But that's how that first part of it is like how we get the consistency of the leads. And then that second part of it is more the quality of the leads. So you can actually vet them off, like we do a filtering process we call lead forms, where they have to put in how serious are they about buying. Like, are you trying to buy in the next 5 days or the next 5 months? Then we kind of push them toward the top. Also their budget. We screen them so we know how much they're planning on spending, because those are the types of customers we want. After they say they want 1,000 square feet, okay, you're looking at between 10 to 12 grand. That way, before even meeting with the customer, we already know if they have the budget or not. Because the worst thing is going to give a quote, meet with the customer, you drove half an hour away just for them to tell you our budget's $4,000. It's like, well, you could have had your time spent doing other things that are actually going to move the needle, move the business forward, and constantly progress it. But you can actually weed that out through Facebook and Instagram. And the different parts of ways we do it is, number one, the content. A lot of the content we post is the types of jobs we want to get. So if you're posting content of small jobs, you're going to get small jobs. If you post content of big jobs, you're going to get big jobs. If you post no content at all, you're not going to get leads at all. Because people need that social proof. If they try to look up your company, they can't find it. How can they trust you to do the job? You can tell them how good you are. It's like, hey, we have 20 years of experience. We do great quality work. But if they try to find your page and then they see you only post hot tub pads, they don't really think you can handle 1,000, 2,000 square feet of concrete, or whatever you do, whatever your niche is. If you do bathrooms or if you do kitchens, the types of jobs you post is the types of work you'll get. If you drive past a restaurant and you see the line is out the door, immediately you're curious. You want to go check out that restaurant. You wonder what's going on over there. That's how social media works these days. If they don't see you or they can't find you, there's just no trust. They don't think you're worth the price you're trying to charge. Now, aside from the content, you also want to have reviews. If you don't have any reviews on Facebook, Google, Instagram, well, you can't really have them on Instagram, but you can actually post like screenshots of reviews, post them on your Facebook, post them on your Instagram. It's not just you saying how good you are. You have this list of other customers telling you how good you are, because you need that social proof. But having the content in the bag, that's how you can really scale the company. That's how one of my clients, Connor, who we've helped scale from $20,000 a month to $200,000 a month in these past 7 months. As a contractor, he does fence and decks. Purely from the content. He didn't even have a big page before. He only had 200 followers. And now he's scaled so big, total between his personal and his business brand, he has 11,000 followers in 7 months. So imagine if you can scale your company $20,000 a month to $200,000 a month in 7 months, you can really start building your dream business. And it's all from the content. That's how you guys found me, from content. That's how everyone is pushing everything these days. And so like, if you're not jumping on that train, you're going to get left behind. I like posting at least once a day, and then also spending $100 a day on ads, very depending on how much revenue you want to hit. You want to spend 4% of your goal revenue on ads. So if you want to hit $100,000 a month, plan on spending $4,000 a month, because you got to pay to play. Now that third part is after you've gotten these leads funneling in, you've given them the budget, you've kind of seen their timeline, they've seen your ads, they've seen your reviews. Now you're setting up the appointment. Before you go out, once again, send them the content, send them videos, send them visuals so they can see your actual work. Because it's one thing to tell someone what you're going to do, but it's so much different if you could send them a video or your page, photos, reels of the work you do, because we're visual learners. That's how humans are. That's what's really going to separate you to close deals, because everyone else is just going to say, we're just going to tear down the driveway, we're going to use this stamp color and this stamp design. But if you can show a visual, that's what really separates you. Customers can justify why you're charging that high of a price, because the quality of service, not just the quality of the product, but the quality of service you have matches your price. That's exactly how one of my clients, Brad, a brand new contractor, he started working with us 2 months ago. He's still working his 9-to-5 job, but he's closed $70,000 this past month. Imagine that in 2 months, you go from $0 to $70,000 a month. And he's still working his full-time job because he has a wife and kids. So he has to wait till the business is at a point where he can completely replace his job. But that's not a bad start. And he's doing that because now he's weeding out clients, he's getting them pre-qualified, and he's also setting the tone so when he meets with them, he can close them right on the spot, because it's a better quality lead and it's leads that are serious about buying and they have the money. Now, I'm not saying this is going to work exactly for you. This is just what worked for me and hundreds of other clients I've helped. So if you've been stuck in the same spot for the past 6 months and your company isn't growing, you got to change the change. What got you to where you're at now is not going to be what's going to take you to that next level. So you have to evolve, you have to adapt, you have to constantly grow. If you want more help, I do have a few more spots open for the contractor mentorship. If you guys are interested, DM me ready on Instagram. Let's talk and see if we're a good fit.